How much money can I potentially make from this $1,000 Pokemon card collection? Well, make sure you stay tuned because you're about to find out. Guys, welcome back. It's Percy here from P4C. Today we are doing something a little bit different. Something that some of you guys, or most of you guys, have been requesting, and that is to talk about Pokemon investment and Pokemon collecting. So rather than just talks, I thought I'd put some action behind my words. Actually went out to purchase a $1,000 worth of Pokemon card collection from Japan. Now these cards are all in Japanese, no English cards whatsoever. Now the idea of this particular exercise is to show you guys potentially how easy or how hard it is to get into Pokemon cards investment. So apologies in advance if we potentially have offended anyone throughout this video, and if you think I have given out some wrong information or incorrect information, make sure you let us know in the comment below. Now for those who are new to the channel, I don't normally have a mustache, but I am doing something called Movember, where we are trying to raise awareness for men's mental health as well as prostate cancer. We have officially done our first shave, which means that I've shaved off anything below my bottom lips. Hopefully, with this particular shave, my mo or my mustache is a little bit more visible. On top of that, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, and then after you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell for the latest videos and updates. Alright, without further ado, let me show you guys what this $1,000 Pokemon card collection looks like. Alright guys, before we start, I wanted to show you guys what my thought process were when I was actually making the purchase, and why did I pick this particular purchase as an item to show you guys and to talk about Pokemon investment. So you can see here, this is Buy. Buy is one of the services that I use. Now, by the way, I'm not sponsored by Buy in any means because I don't only use Buy for my Japanese purchase. I use other sites as well, but just happened that for this particular item, I needed to use them. So this is not a sponsorship video, guys. The first thing you'll see on this site is that half of it is in Japanese and half of it is in English. And even for someone like myself who is pretty okay in Japanese, I struggle with some of the terminology or the language or the grammar itself. But the great thing about this particular site, and in fact almost all of the proxy site, is that you will be able to use Google Translate, and by the click of that you will see now everything is translated in English. Now, why did I pick this particular purchase, or why did I pick this particular collection? Now it was bidding, and I actually thought that I may have overpaid for this particular collection after opening it, and you guys will probably may understand why. But before knowing it, I look at the potential value here, and the one thing that really jumped out for me was this card here. For those who don't know, this is actually the Masaki promo card, where you cannot get this card out of an ordinary pack. What you needed to do is to have a Haunter card, and I think it was a pass card or something like that, where you have to actually send it to a communication provider, because back in the days, in order to get a Gengar, you needed to trade for Alakazam, Machop, Golem, Gengar, and the other one I think, not necessarily in the game, but Omanite. Omastar. So for these 5 particular Pokemon, you needed to send in their pre-evolutions, and then along with a pass card, I believe, or a Bill's card. I can't remember exactly which card, but you needed to send in this card to one of the Japanese communication provider or telephone service provider, and they will send this card back to you. So this card is pretty rare. So this card particularly, I saw it on the auction, and I don't have this card at the moment, so instantly that drew my attention. Now, unfortunately, I cannot blow up the picture anymore because the auction has ended, and it's for some weird, I don't know, for some weird reason I can't do it anymore. But as I go through, and even just reading the description, so, you know, photo 1, a whole Pokemon card. Photo 2 taken separately with the back side of the file and the Gengar. So the thing that jumps out firstly, 108 Kira card. Now Kira is a term that they use in Japan for holo or holographics, which means that there is 108 holo cards in this lot. And then there is 63 glossy cards, which means now, without actually knowing, but you know, you really kind of have to have an understanding of Pokemon here. Glossy cards could potentially and you know, essentially means they're the vending series. The vending series again is a little bit different compared to the packs, is that you have to peel them off with a sheet. And some of these cards are again Japanese exclusive, because some of the cards on this particular set, and you will see, are from the first few Pokemon illustration winners and contestants as well. So I thought, okay, that's pretty cool, because very hard to get PSA 10s on those, just because the way that they're open, quite often they get marks taken off on the corners. And then you got 161 normal cards, and then so forth and so forth. So the thing that I really jumped out was this particular Gengar card and the 108 holos. And then when you start going through it, these are obviously the holo cards. You can see again very small on the screen, but the first thing you probably can see it here. You see there's a Dragonite, you see there is a Mewtwo, you see there's a Dark Charizard. So you know, some of these cards are pretty you know, valuable, even though they're Japanese cards. And then you go to the next slide that shows, and then you can see the Dark Blastoise, you can see the Venusaur there. So in my head, I already think, okay, I am not 100% sure what the condition of this particular collection is. Even though it did say the item collection is no obvious damage and dirt, but you can't really trust the seller most of the time. I had experience buying Japanese collection, and they are normally a little bit better than you would expect. But however, given the recent rise in Pokemon cards in terms of prices, everyone is taking out their old used collection out of the cupboard, so God knows what the condition may be. But I decided I would take a chance, just because of I've seen a few cards here, especially I've seen cards that are coming from the base set. Base set Japanese cards, I personally have graded them myself and have got rid of them or sold them relatively quickly, just using Instagram. So I thought this might not be bad at all. So hence, I went over what my initial budget was, and 101,000 yen, which is $7,896, which is roughly around USD $1,000, which where we want this particular bid. The next thing was wait until the cards come, and they did arrive, and I opened it up. So right now we're gonna go jump into, have a look at the cards and their condition. Alright, so I actually opened it up, the package already, and kind of, you can say, categorize each item, because I did actually take a bit of time to organize everything, and actually, you know, to talk about prices in particular, we needed to do some research. So one thing that came as a surprise was these two particular booklets here that you're seeing on screen right now. I probably won't open it, but you can see here Pokemon Monster card game here. So this particular book here is quite interesting. It talks about strategies on the Pokemon card game. Actually, I will take them out so you guys can see. It's very, very old school here. I'll just go through the few pages. You can see here, very, very vintage. Talks about what kind of combo you need, how many cards you need, or strategy based on the base set there. So very, very nice. And then in the second book that we have is actually on the Game Boy game, which is the green, red, and blue version. And then again, going through it, it's almost like, you know, Games FAQ and Bulbapedia, or what's the other one that I use? I can't remember, but it tells you where you can find the Pokemon, what moveset they learn, and then, you know, the grading as well. So for example, a Gengar here, HP is only C. I don't know what the other stuff is. I think, you know, it talks about attacks, defense, special attack, special defense kind of thing. So very cool, very vintage item. They're obviously not sealed and quite open. They probably won't worth much, and to be honest, might be a bit of a personal collection here. But just to show you guys, it did came with like almost close to maybe 1000 volt. So we've got a lot of the base set here, and pretty much already pulled out all the cards that could potentially worth something here. So we've got base set, we got you know, majority of them are rockets as well, and then we've got some fossils here. So won't take too much time to these, because these are all bulk jungle here. So just to show you guys what I've got from this particular bulk. There were actually some gym heroes and gym challenges as well, but again, these are bulk. I'm sure you guys would be able to see them online everywhere. Alright, on screen here right now are the vending series. Now, like I said, the vending series are very much Japanese exclusive. So this particular card here, this particular card here, and this particular card here, these are all illustrated cards. So these are drawn by little kids when they were back in 1997, 98, around the age of God knows, from 7 to 8, and these were actually the winners, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So these are actually the winner. The one that we're missing is the no, I can't remember which one's missing. But anyway, these are all Japanese exclusive, but the condition of them are pretty beat up. So you can already straight away see the white edges, and I haven't sleeved them up. Like I said, these cards at best condition, most of them, when I say best condition, like packed fresh, normally they get PSA 9, because the way that you open them, you get a sheet of 4 and 3, and then you have to peel them off. And the way that you peel them off, sometimes as you peel them off, you leave edges. When you peel them off, you leave like little fingernails mark or finger marks peel, and that's where a lot of the time the points get taken off, and that's why you see a lot of PSA 9s and not a lot of PSA 10s. Now, I've got tons of these. I've got, I think from memory, 46 of these. So you can see here some of these. Let me go to my favorite one. So this is not my favorite one, but you can see the artwork is really strange, really weird in a sense, because these are drawn by kids. These are drawn by kids. These are not professional artists. These are impression of the Pokemon inside of anywhere from 8 to 9 years old, and that's why they look really different. Like, this is one of my favorite ones, and I think there is another one. Here we go. That's one of my other favorite one as well. It's just really, it's really cool and different artworks, and how kids really sees Pokemon as well. So again, the condition of these are mostly beat up. I would say sort of play to heavy play. Maybe some of them are light play. I am not actually grading any of these. So if I were to let these go back to the market, most likely going to sell them in bulk, and probably price them at sort of anywhere from 50 cents to $1 USD per card. Now to the big ticket items. So there were 108 Kira or holo cards here, and these were the 108 or 90 something, because I pulled out the one that we can actually grade. Again, the conditions were set to be no dirt and no obvious damage, but you know, consider what you think of obvious damage here. But you know, you can see the whitenings in the corner there for this particular Dark Charizard card. So honestly, if you look at the ratio, which I will show you, don't want to ruin the surprise, but out of the 108 cards, we were only able to pull, I think, 11 cards or 11 to 12 cards for grading. So all of these cards didn't pass my eye test. Now, I do have a pretty strict eye test, and consider this is a investment video. This is not a personal collection video. A lot of these cards I wouldn't grade, because I were able to spot scratches and print line. But you know, very disappointed in a way. You know, some of these cards turn out. The Venusaur would have sold really well, even if it was a PSA 8 or 9. You can see here right away the corners here not great. Otherwise, if the corner was anywhere good, it would have been really nice. The Erica Venusaur, you can see here the corners. There's where this particular corner here. So there were quite a number of cards where I was quite disappointed, and you can see the big stacks here. Okay, now again, from a sort of investment, or you can say flipping mindset, I could still let these cards go, and I was thinking that, you know, for $2 or $3 USD per card, I'm sure someone will pick this up, not as, you know, go on and then sell it or flip it, but as a potential collection or binder item. And I think you know, for $2 or $3, a lot of people might think, why not? All right, next up is showing you the 10 cards or the 11 cards that I picked for grading. And now I did not actually look at the prices of PSA cards. I purely look at the card's condition when I was picking this up, because just because of I think, you know, PSA 10s and PSA 9s obviously are more valuable, and I didn't think that a Venusaur worthing a PSA 5 or 6 was going to beat one of these cards. So we got a Pichu here from the Neo series, we got a Snorlax here from the Jungle, a Venomoth here from the Jungle again, and then we got an Erika Dragonair, Aerofrost Neo series. Now we actually, from the bulk stuff in Japanese, these are some of the things that you might want to look out for as well, the banned item or the banned card. So you can see here the Grimer and the Sabrina's Gaze here. Now this Grimer here, so the English version, this is very, very well known fact. So if you didn't know, this particular Grimer is looking up the skirt of a particular girl, which is banned in English, so the eyes actually went the other way. And then you can see here Sabrina here is giving the middle finger, or it looks like she's giving the middle finger. So this particular card was also banned in English as well. So these cards were actually relatively in good condition, so we're sending it to grading. And then we've got one of the happier card that in this particular collection that we were able to send is this particular Dark Blastoise. So this one, you can see straight away is off-centered, but I think is maybe good enough just to get an 8 or 9. And then we've got a Haunter here, and then we've got a Fossil Moltres here. Now, just to give you an idea how strict I am, this particular card here is close to flawless, and you can see there's zero scratches from my eyes anyway on this particular card. Then that's why we are submitting it for grading. And look at that swell here, look at that swell here. Now last but not least, we have this Masaki Gengar card here. This is probably my favorite Masaki Gengar card. Sorry, this is my favorite Masaki promo card, just because, you know, this is just awesome artwork. It looks really, really awesome. If you are a Gengar collector, you need to get this card, I think. But you can see from the front, it looks really good. No scratches. And then at the back here, this is where points are going to get deducted, because you can see a few nicks here and there. Now, I don't expect this to be a PSA 10, nor am I expecting to be a 9. I mean, it would be really nice to get a 9, but I was hoping for an 8 or 7. This is the card that, you know, one of the few cards that passed, you know, the test, even it was only going to be maximum PSA 8 or 7. And this card is probably the pure reason I went for this particular collection, or actually bid and try to win this particular collection, and hence I feel I overpaid after opening up all of this, and the reason why this card played a pretty significant role in terms of influenced me to buy this collection. Now, if you go on sites like Card Melvin or Pokemon Price, I think we'll jump into that. It kind of show you what this card is cost, just from a raw perspective, as well as in a PSA grading perspective. A month ago, this card from a PSA 6 is sold for $435. A PSA 4 sold for $147. And then if you actually, I don't know if it's going to show it here, but if I actually type in PSA, let's go with PSA 10 and see if it shows. Right, now, okay, 3 months ago or 5 months ago, a PSA 10 was sold, and that went for $3,508. Now, if you wanted to cross-check other sites, you can actually go on eBay as well and just check the sold items. As you would hear, the Masaki Gengar PSA 10. And then you just have a look at the sold items. And then you can see here, one that was sold on October the 24th for $31,000. And if you have a look at, which approximately costs about $4,100. Now that's a PSA 10, and then I can actually continue to go on to do the research and have a look at PSA 9, PSA 8, which we did. And we're now going to show you our little spreadsheet that we put together. Alright, here is the spreadsheet here that I have prepared. And this is why I had to open the package, because we needed to prepare something like this, right? So the Gengar Masaki promo card, you can see it. I put down the raw price, the PSA 10, PSA 9, and PSA 8 prices. So you can see here, just on the raw prices alone, if we were to sell everything. Now just bear in mind that the holo bulk there are around 98 cards. I priced them I think at $3 per card, and in the vending series I priced them at $1 per card. And we actually paid $977, so close to $1,000. I rounded up anyway, sorry guys. But you can see if we were sold everything raw, we weren't going to make any profit. And that was $174. We would have been approximately, give or take, $174 in the negative zone. But if you can start to see here, if everything came back PSA 10, we would actually make a profit of $6,000. Again, give or take, but close to around $6,000 to $6,400. And I actually here I included the grading fees as well. And what I've included as well is the shipping that goes with the grading and an express service for our Gengar Masaki promo card as well. For PSA 9, if everything comes back PSA 9, our profit would have been $4,000. And for PSA 8, our profit would have been $900, so we still would have earned a little bit of money. But the thing is here, the most importantly, there is a few things that you really need to consider in terms of doing an exercise like this, and one of them is we're heavily relying on the grading of the cards in order to make ourselves a profit here. So again, I'm using my naked eye to make the judgment call and say, hey, these are going to be PSA 10, 9, or at least 8 worthy. But are they really PSA 8 or 9 or 10 in front of the grader's eyes? I don't know. You don't know. Only the graders will know. So that's risk number one here. Risk number two is, without knowing the actual condition of the cards, and this is probably the biggest risk in this particular purchase as well, is that out of those 108 holo cards, there could have been 50 that were in really mint condition. There could have been 90, but there could have been 1 or even 0 that were in relatively good condition that I could grade. And again, if you would have seen our spreadsheet there, if we were to sell those cards raw, we weren't going to make any profit or any return on investment at all. Thirdly, again, we're going back to the point where we're relying on grading. Right now, PSA is backlogged to the max. So anyone who have been submitting the cards to PSA knows that it is a long wave. Now we're looking at, right now we're in November, probably going to ship these cards to grading for until the end of the month. And we're likely not going to see these cards back till 2021. And we're talking about June, July period. And maybe even a little bit later, who knows. And the thing is, Pokemon price and the prices that I've got on here before you saw some of the latest prices, some of the last sold prices, where Pokemon prices has been increasing quite a lot in the last 1 to 2 months. But what happens come June, July next year, the market crashes. So that's something that you guys need to consider when it comes to Pokemon investment. Is, are we playing the short-term game or are we actually playing the long-term game? And of course, with investing in Pokemon cards, you really need to do your research. You really need to know your stuff. And honestly, buying this particular collection and showing you guys I actually feel, and this is an honest personal opinion, I felt I overpaid for this particular collection. And I wasn't actually, when I saw the cards, I wasn't overly confident that I was going to be able to make profit. And again, going back to the prices that I was showing on screen, I might be able to make profit now if I get PSA to grade my cards and return them today. But I might not be able to make profit come June 2021 because who knows, Pokemon may not be as popular as it was, may not be as popular as it is in the future than it is today. So the next step, I will be sending the cards that I need to send to PSA in the couple weeks times, and maybe when they come back in, I don't know, in June, July next year, we'll be able to give you guys a bit of a progress report. Hopefully by then Pokemon is still as popular as ever. So guys, if you actually enjoyed this type of video and content, make sure you give us a like on this particular video, and please leave a comment down below as well. This is my first time of doing this type of video, so I wasn't sure how or which way it was going to go, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. While you're at it, make sure you subscribe, and then after you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell for the latest videos and updates. Alright, in the next video, I think we are going back to opening Vivid Voltage. I'm not sure, 100% sure yet, but we'll see. Until next time, guys, may the God of Pools be with you always.